If you want to talk, make it quick. I think I'm late for Noelle's science lesson.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Hope life is treating you well. Good to see you again. Can I get you something? Oh, is that a story? Remember when I said getting the ingredients was the difficult part? Yeah, about that. I may have gotten ahead of myself. I can mix a mean drink, I could run this bar. But this is something totally new. I want to do it right. But you know what that takes? Credits. Lots of them. More than I have. Oh, that's part of the plan, for sure. It just can't be the whole plan. And you have now outed yourself as someone who has clearly never attempted to jumpstart an interplanetary business venture. I need more than just a great product, which clearly I have. But I want to go big. Large-scale production, marketing, distribution. Here's the situation. Opportunity is staring me in the face right now, and I don't want to blink. This can be huge, galaxy-wide. I know it. So, I am willing to concede that I need some external help here. Investors. Know anyone who's rich and likes taking chances? I am once again leaning on you, my very, very good friend, and looking for some help. You can't possibly turn me down, right? Well, a person of your obvious charm and grace must have some connections to wealthy individuals in the settled systems. I'm hoping you can convince a few of them to invest in my little business venture here with the knowledge that they will definitely, absolutely get their credits back. And then some. That's the pitch anyway. You really are the best, you know that? So, you know Walter Stroud, yeah? You both are in that Constellation organization? I think you should chat him up, pitch him the idea, see if he'll bite. If he does, we are that much closer. And if he doesn't, then we figure out a plan B. Go team! I hear there's some sort of citizens group trying to get the old Valrune embassy torn down. When I first heard about it, I thought it was a bit extreme, but really, would you want to move into that place? Me neither. And it's not like they're ever coming back. House Valrune, I mean? Well, at least not make nice and be all diplomatic. We all know how that went. Lucky for you, that is literally my job. What can I get you? See you around.
If you don't see if it belongs on your ship, oh, please, take a look. Appreciate the business.
I think I could live on coffee if I had to.
I'm gonna submit those reports to management next week. You wanna look them over first?
we were talking about him, but I couldn't remember his name. Well, I remembered. His name was Curtis.
I am...
Oh, please, take a look. Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
if it isn't the newest addition to the family.
Sarah was just regaling us with a story involving her and Vladimir that is clearly 100% fabricated.
Are you calling me a liar, Country?
No, ma'am. Wouldn't dream of it.
At this point, we've all got stories that sound made up. Lucky that all of us here know they're true.
Some of our stories are a bit weirder than others, you gotta admit.
Okay, sure, but it's not a contest, Barrett. None of us thought we'd end up here like this. I was sure I'd have a nice, quiet, boring career in Mast.
I kind of figured I'd just keep securing religious relics.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear that. Did you say securing or stealing?
You're never gonna let it go, are you?
You should know by now that is not how Walter operates. He never lets anything go. It's gotten him this far.
Now, Andreja, I'm sure your answer would be something about the life of a smuggler. Am I right?
It was perhaps not my plan, but my options were limited.
Hey, no judgment here. In addition to weird stories, I think we've all done a few things we're not proud of.
And that is one contest Barrett would definitely win.
And what about you? I know you were kind of thrown into all this.
Discovered an artifact and tussled with pirates all on his first day. No big deal, right? I think we've all said, or at least thought, something similar.
Too right. We're all here for a reason, and a damn good one.
That's why we're all here. Even as this gets weirder and weirder.
It's all important. Probably the most important thing there is. And soon, we're gonna understand what it all means.
The optimism in this room right now could power all of New Atlantis. I love it.
We have an incredibly capable group of people here. We have a path to follow, and we're going to see where it leads. We're going to figure out what this all means, and look after each other along the way. No matter what happens, we're all in this together.
I'll drink to that.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then.
I'd like to talk. Curious feeling, knowing that you've seen something that no one else has. That you know something no one else does. Oh, right. I was afraid you were going to bring that up again. Very well. Let's see if I embarrass myself or not. My colleagues, I venture out into the darkness of space once again. Many of you have expressed concern. At my age, you say, surely the risks are too great. Surely Sebastian Banks has earned a rest. Nonsense, I say. To go out into the unknown, to brave the possibility of never coming back, to ignite the spark of hope that humanity will find answers out there in the stars, that is all I have ever wanted. If this last expedition is my time, then I say, I have been fortunate. I have been fortunate to leave, surrounded by people who could not be more different from one another, but who share a common purpose. That, dare I say, I am fortunate. My soul has a home it can always come back to. And that was the last thing Sebastian Banks ever said in the lodge before he disappeared. And Constellation has been waiting for him to come home ever since. Oh, no. You have any idea how much of my time gets wasted by people who start conversations with that line? All right, let's get it over with. What amazing situation have you discovered that I can't possibly afford to pass up? Every bar, huh? It's that good. You can personally vouch for this. Spoken like a true connoisseur. If it were anyone else, I might be inclined to nod politely, express some vague enthusiasm, and suggest setting up a meeting that never happens. But I think you and I have been through enough that I'll trust you and take a chance on this. All right, here's what you're going to do. Go pay a visit to my lovely wife in Neon and tell her I said I've been thinking about rereading Jules Verne. You do that, and we'll get the necessary paperwork underway. Not my first time in a hostile negotiation, as you well know. Admittedly, I usually know more about who I'm facing off against. I'm very interested in what Noel can learn from the scans. The technology on that ship was impressive, to say the least. If there's a chance, we could learn enough to duplicate some of it. That's certainly true. And it also wouldn't hurt to give Stroud Eklund an advantage in the marketplace. I want you to know I was very impressed with your work back on Neon. I'm beginning to wonder if there's anything you can't handle. I'd like to test that theory. My Star Yard's been having a little trouble getting our next project off the ground. I need someone capable and decisive to step in and steer it in the right direction. Interested? Love the enthusiasm. I knew there was a reason I picked you to help with this project. It's a new ship. We want to diversify our fleet. Now, I don't know why the people I pay very handsomely to come up with new designs can't seem to get out of the R&D phase. And frankly, I don't care. I just want someone, you, to go there and show them how it's done. Excellent. I'll send word ahead to the project lead, Jules Degante, that you're taking point. They'll all be instructed to listen to you and follow your direction. I expect big things from you, so I'm excited to see what you manage to deliver. I don't believe you'll let me down.
What's up?
We've always considered ourselves explorers, but ever since I got here, this has felt like home. These people are family. I hope it feels that way for you too. Stay safe, okay?
I feel like this is all exciting, but there's really a lot of pressure on us, isn't there? There's certainly precedent, isn't there? We've been operating for a while now on the fringes of what we, humans, know and understand. Why rule anything out? I just think we should be open-minded, keep everything on the table. I did say it was a metaphor, didn't I? Never meant it to be taken completely literally, but you never know. Maybe they appeared in a form we're familiar with. It's the argument I have with Walter every other week. Science and reason have their place, but so does faith. We have all of them at our disposal, and I don't for 1 second believe they're mutually exclusive. Take care of yourself.
Better not be a waste of my time. Yeah, what? You got the money, or the goods. If you, find anything else, make sure...
I think I'm going to get my face poked on with
Got those two.
James and Binbury, it's so good to have... I hope you find what you need. Stop by again soon.
Cause any trouble?
I know your type. Free, really.
I do like... Feel free to look around. Stroud Eklund is the peak of ship manufacturing design. Oh, has he now? My dear young man, what have you talked him into? And what better way than to leverage a starship builder? How very clever. Back before Walter and I married, he confessed that he had stashed away a credit stick in a copy of Around the World in 80 Days. Somewhere between a rainy day fund and a slush fund, he said he'd always had a bit of extra money set aside in case opportunities arose. I can't really fault him. They're his credits. He can do as he likes. But over the years, it's become something of a joke between us. When he wants to take a chance on something, it's his way of asking without asking if it's all right with me. I suppose it is. Sweeter when it pans out, but he does have a nose for these things. I'll draw up the appropriate paperwork for the funds. Thank you for bringing me his message.
If I was rich, this whole business...
Whoa. This is really happening.
Okay, I just lost the ability to think for a moment there. Hang on, give me a second. Whew, all right. That's really fantastic news. But we can't celebrate just yet. We're going to need at least one more solid investor. Oh, I'm sure he could fund most of the business in New Atlantis, if he doesn't already. That's not the point. If I put this all in the hands of a single investor, whoever that is suddenly has a lot of influence. If I have at least 2 investors to start, then one person isn't pulling all the strings, if any strings have to get pulled. Have I mentioned I'm not great with metaphors? So, having Walter backing us is fantastic, but I'd feel much better if there was a third party involved. If you know anyone, now's the time to call in a favor. Catch you later.
If you don't see what you want, hope you're finding everything. Oh, please, take a look. Thanks for coming in.
Approaching ship, you've entered Freestar Collective space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband. Alright, we're done. Have a good...
Galbank ATMs are spread throughout the zone.
Move along.
My time.
Yes, Yonek's little side business isn't enough for you, huh? Quite the budding entrepreneur. And before you say another word, you'd better stop and think for a second. You really don't want to try and pitch me on something I'm already working. Yeah, I allowed Yonek's little operation to continue. I am not feeling nearly so generous right now. So, what's your proposal? New Atlantis. The UC, with all its regulations, and you're going to try and run a con. That sounds like a losing proposition. You're going to have to do a little better than that. Diversifying my holdings isn't the worst idea in the world, and it might potentially open some doors. All right. I'll give it a shot. But I'm going to expect a few things, like priority delivery for Neon, and a decent cut of the profits. And if there aren't any profits, well, I'm going to hold you accountable. You've got yourself a deal. Have your people reach out, and I'll discuss transferring the funds.
If I can get... We're halfway there. Another invest... Wait, what? Benjamin Bayou? The Neon guy? The Aurora guy? Are you serious? Are you sure that's a good idea? Because if I'm being honest, right here in this moment, it sounds like kind of a terrible idea. You're right. Neon and New Atlantis, two of the biggest markets in the settled systems. That's pretty huge. This is pretty unexpected, I've gotta tell you. I'm going to need an airtight contract. That is one hell of an opportunity. I have to hand it to you. You really come through for me. Again. I foresee a lot of paperwork in my future, but for once, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Oh my gosh, did that really just come out of my mouth? Who even am I? See you around.